Storms are more than just weather. They are events. Forces of nature that inspire awe and sometimes terror. Welcome back to the Cruise Ship Safety and Security Channel. For centuries, sailors, those who faced the ocean's wrath most directly, sought ways to understand and categorize these tempests. They gave them names, but these weren't just any names. They were traditionally female names. This wasn't a mere quirk of maritime history. It reflected a complex interplay of beliefs, superstitions, and the realities of life at sea. The practice of naming storms after women wasn't universal, but it was widespread. From the rough seas of the North Atlantic to the typhoon-prone Pacific, sailors wove stories and legends around these women of the waves, imbuing them with personalities as unpredictable as the storms themselves. To understand why, we must journey back to a time when ships were made of wood and men navigated by the stars, a time when the sea, for all its beauty, held untold dangers. These names, whispered on the wind, carried stories of survival, loss, and the eternal struggle against nature's fury. Life at sea was harsh. Sailors, away from home for months or even years, developed a deep respect, bordering on reverence, for the ocean's power. They observed that storms, like women, could be unpredictable, capricious, even vengeful one moment, calm and beautiful the next. Many ancient cultures personified natural forces as deities, and the sea, with its vastness and might, was often seen as a powerful female entity. The Greeks had their Thalassa, the Romans their Neptune. These goddesses were both revered and feared. This association of the sea with femininity found its way into sailor traditions. Ships themselves were often referred to as she, perhaps a reflection of the nurturing role they played in the lives of sailors, providing food, shelter, and a means of livelihood. Just as a ship could be a source of comfort and safety, she could also be vulnerable to the ocean's fury. A storm, then, was seen as a force that could lash out with feminine wrath, testing the mettle of both ship and crew. This wasn't necessarily a negative view of women. Rather, it acknowledged the power inherent in nature. Sailors would often prepare for the worst, knowing that the sea's temperament could change in an instant. Their experiences with storms were a testament to their resilience and camaraderie, facing nature's fury head-on. By the mid-19th century, the world was changing. The invention of the telegraph allowed for faster communication, and the burgeoning science of meteorology began to unravel the mysteries of weather patterns. Sailors still relied on their traditional knowledge, but a new era of scientific observation was dawning. With this increased understanding came the need for a more systematic way to track and identify storms. The practice of giving storms female names continued, partly out of tradition, partly because it provided a simple and memorable way to distinguish one storm from another. However, the informal nature of this system led to confusion. Different regions and even individual ships might have their own naming conventions. A storm called Mary in one part of the ocean might be known as Fiona in another. The need for a standardized system became increasingly apparent. Today, meteorology plays a crucial role in naming storms, using advanced technology to ensure consistency and accuracy. International collaboration ensures that storm names are standardized globally, reducing confusion and improving communication. Before the advent of modern meteorology, sailors often relied on a mixture of observation, experience, and folklore to predict the weather. Storms, especially those of exceptional ferocity, became ingrained in maritime legend, often personified by the female names they carried. One such legend is that of Hurricane Carol, a devastating storm that struck the northeastern United States in 1954. While not the first storm to bear that name, Carol became infamous for its destructive power, solidifying the association of female names with powerful storms in the public imagination. Another example is the legend of the Bride of the Sea, a ghost ship said to sail the North Atlantic, her white sails billowing even in the calmest of weather. Some say she's the spirit of a woman whose sailor husband was lost at sea, forever searching for him amidst the waves. These legends, passed down through generations of sailors, illustrate the deep connection between humans and the natural world, a relationship imbued with both awe and apprehension. They remind us that for all our technological advances, we are still at the mercy of the elements. Today, meteorological organizations around the world use carefully structured systems to name storms. These systems, often alternating between male and female names, help to avoid confusion and ensure that each storm is easily identifiable. But why do we continue to name storms at all? The answer lies partly in practicality and partly in our enduring need to make sense of the world around us. Giving a storm a name makes it easier to track its progress, communicate warnings to the public, and coordinate emergency response efforts. It transforms an impersonal force of nature into something more relatable, something we can discuss, prepare for, and remember. Names have power. They evoke emotions, conjure images, and help us to connect with events on a deeper level. When we hear a storm name like Katrina or Harvey, we don't just think of wind and rain. We remember the devastation, the human cost, and the resilience of those who endured. Perhaps, too, there's a hint of that ancient awe, that recognition of the power and unpredictability of nature still embedded in our tradition of naming storms. They are reminders that for all our technological prowess, we are still subject to the whims of the wind and the waves. Thank you for watching. Please like this video. It helps us to bring you more nautical content, and don't forget to subscribe.